Imagine a world where billions of people stop everything, schools close, businesses pause, and even global economies shift, all to honor the faith and sacrifice of one man, a man who lived over 4,000 years ago. This is not just history, this is legacy, the legacy of Prophet Ibrahim as, the father of prophets, whose obedience to Allah changed the course of humanity forever. Thousands of years ago, in the ancient city of Ur, located in what is now southern Iraq, a boy named Ibrahim was born into a powerful and respected family. His father, Azar, was known for crafting idols, beautiful statues made of wood, stone, and metal. In the eyes of the people, Azar was serving the gods. But in the eyes of young Ibrahim, something felt deeply wrong. Every day, he watched men and women bowing to statues they themselves had built. They prayed to them for rain, health, and fortune, believing these lifeless figures could control their destiny. But Ibrahim's heart was not satisfied. Even as a child, he would look up to the stars, the moon, and the sun, wondering who truly created them. One night, he saw a bright star shining in the sky and said, "This is my Lord." But when the star set, he realized, "I do not love things that disappear." Then he saw the moon rise and thought, "This is greater." But when the moon also faded away, he said, "If my Lord does not guide me, I will surely be among those who go astray." Finally, when the sun rose, its power and warmth amazed him. Yet when it set beyond the horizon, Ibrahim declared with conviction, "I turn my face to the one who created the heavens and the earth. I will never be among those who worship idols." That moment changed everything. Ibrahim discovered the truth that would define his entire life. There is only one God, Allah, the creator of all things. He began calling his people to leave their idols and worship Allah alone. He spoke gently but firmly, reasoning with logic and kindness. But instead of listening, his people mocked him, even his father rejected him. "Do you turn away from the gods of your forefathers?" They asked. "If you continue, we will stone you." But Ibrahim did not stop. He knew truth was worth standing for, even if he had to stand alone. One day, when the people left the city for a festival, Ibrahim entered the grand temple, where all the idols stood in silence. He looked around and said to himself, "How can you worship what cannot speak?" He raised his axe and destroyed every idol, except the biggest one. He then hung the axe around the neck of the largest statue. When the people returned, they were horrified. "Who has done this to our gods?" they shouted. Some said, "We heard a young man named Ibrahim speaking against them." They brought him forward before the king, Nimrod, a man who claimed himself to be divine. "Did you do this to our gods, O Ibrahim?" they demanded. With calmness, he replied, "Ask the biggest idol." "Perhaps he did it," the crowd roared in anger. "You know these idols do not speak," they shouted. And Ibrahim said, "Then why do you worship what cannot help or harm you? Shame on you for worshipping what you carve with your own hands instead of the one who created you and all that you see." His words struck their hearts like lightning. The truth was undeniable, but pride blinded them. King Nimrod, furious that his authority was challenged, ordered Ibrahim to be burned alive. "Build for him a furnace," he commanded, "and throw him into the fire so that your gods may be avenged." The people gathered wood for days, building a fire so massive that birds couldn't fly over it. When it was lit, the flames roared high into the sky, their heat unbearable even from a distance. They tied Ibrahim's hands and placed him on a giant catapult. But as he was launched into the flames, he whispered the words that changed destiny, "Hasbi Allahu Washington and I'm al-Wakil. Allah is sufficient for me, and He is the best disposer of affairs." And then Allah spoke to the fire, "O fire, be cool and peaceful for Ibrahim." The flames obeyed. The fire lost its heat, and the prophet stood calmly amidst the ashes, unharmed. The people watched in disbelief. The man who was supposed to burn became a living miracle. Even Nimrod's arrogance couldn't deny the truth. Allah had shown His power over all creation. After this miracle, Ibrahim continued his mission, calling people to the oneness of Allah. Some believed, but most turned away. So, with his wife Sarah and his nephew Lot, he left his homeland in obedience to Allah's command, beginning a journey that would span nations, from Iraq to Palestine, from Egypt to Mecca. Years passed. Despite his faith and patience, Ibrahim and Sarah had no children. Yet, they never lost hope. One day, by Allah's mercy, Ibrahim was blessed with a son through his second wife, Hajar. His name was Ismail. Ibrahim loved his son deeply, but soon, Allah tested his love and faith in the most unimaginable way. In a dream, he saw himself sacrificing Ismail, and he knew, as a prophet, that this was a divine command. The next morning, his heart heavy yet filled with obedience, he told his son what he had seen. Ismail, a young boy of unwavering faith, replied, "O my father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, inshallah, among the patient." Together, they walked up Mount Arafat. Ibrahim's hands trembled as he prepared the sacrifice, tears streaming down his face. Just as he was about to fulfill the command, Allah's mercy descended. A ram was sent in Ismail's place. This was not just a test, it was a lesson for all time, that true faith means complete submission to the will of Allah. In that moment, the tradition of Eid al-Adha was born, a remembrance of sacrifice, faith, and trust in the Creator. But Ibrahim's story did not end there. He and his son Ismail were later commanded to build the Kaaba, the house of Allah, in the barren desert of Mecca. Brick by brick, they raised its walls, saying, "Our Lord, accept this from us. Indeed, you are the all-hearing, the all-knowing." From that sacred place began the legacy of unity and worship that continues to this day. Every Muslim who prays faces the direction of the Kaaba, built by a father and son who gave everything for their Lord. Prophet Ibrahim was tested like no other, with his people, his family, his wealth, and his heart. Yet, each time, he emerged stronger, his faith unshaken. Allah honored him with the title Khalilullah, the friend of Allah, and today, over 4,000 years later, his name is still remembered in every prayer. When we recite the Durood, we say, "O Allah, send blessings upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad, as you sent blessings upon Ibrahim and the family of Ibrahim." This is the legacy of Prophet Ibrahim, a man who faced kings and fire, who surrendered his will for the will of Allah, who became a beacon of faith for generations. His story reminds us that no fire can burn the believer whose heart burns with the light of faith, that no sacrifice is ever lost when done for Allah, and that true peace, true victory, lies only in submission. So the next time you stand in prayer, facing the Kaaba, remember the man who built it. Remember the one who taught humanity what it truly means to believe. And if this story touched your heart, subscribe to Farzeen Islamic Stories, where faith meets history, and where the timeless stories of the prophets continue to inspire souls across the world. Because the story of Prophet Ibrahim is not just his story, it is the story of every believer who chooses faith over fear, truth over lies, and Allah over all.